You know how it is when you step out of darkness into the full light of day. The intense brightness of the sun can just be painful and disorienting. It takes your eyes a while to adjust. But once they do, you see the vibrancy of colors. You see a beauty unlike anything in the shadows. And I think the experience is similar when you're confronted by God's truth, particularly in Paul's case. In Acts 22, 6 through 11, he describes it to the crowd. He says, "As I was on my way and drew near to Damascus about noon, a great light from heaven suddenly shone around me. And I fell to the ground and heard a voice saying to me, 'Saul, Saul, why are you persecuting me?' And I answered, 'Who are you, Lord?' And he said to me, 'I am Jesus of Nazareth, whom you are persecuting.' Now those who were with me saw the light, but did not understand the voice of the one who was speaking to me. And I said, 'What shall I do, Lord?' And the Lord said to me, 'Rise and go into Damascus, and there you'll be told all that is appointed for you to do.' And since I could not see because of the brightness of the light, I was led by the hand by those who were with me and came into Damascus." So Jesus revealed his glory to Paul. And it was painful, physically and spiritually. Paul realizes that he had chosen the wrong side. Just like his teacher had warned, he had been opposing God. And so imagine his whole outlook had to change. And so it's this interesting contrast that as he's beginning to see the light spiritually, he's physically blinded and stumbles into Damascus, being led by the hand. Now, Paul's encounter with Jesus is unique. We don't all expect to see a bright light. But that painful reality of being confronted by the truth is a universal experience. Jesus talked about it in John 3, 19 and 20. He says, "And this is the judgment. The light has come into the world, and people loved the darkness rather than the light because their works were evil. For everyone who does wicked things hates the light and does not come to the light, lest his works should be exposed." I think sometimes that sense of conviction when we're confronted by the truth can feel like someone is coercing us. But it's something internal. It shouldn't be an external thing. And so we look at Jesus, and he claims to be the light of the world. His life and his teaching expose both overt immorality and sin, along with religious hypocrisy. And so he leads us to see that we've all sinned and fall short of the glory of God, like Paul says in Romans 3:23. Of course, we might not be guilty of the same sins as Paul, but we all fail to follow the heart of God's commandments. We haven't loved him as he deserves or loved our neighbor as ourselves. And so Jesus says that people will do just about anything to avoid the light. So the only way for change to come about is that God has to intervene in our hearts. And I love the way Paul talks about it in 2 Corinthians 4:6. He says, "For God, who said, 'Let light shine out of darkness,' has shone in our hearts to give the light of the knowledge of the glory of God in the face of Jesus Christ." He had to be thinking about his own experience. But spiritually speaking, that has to happen to all of us. In his amazing grace, God opens our eyes to see in Christ a beauty unlike anything in the shadows.